Buenos días. Estimadas autoridades,
Good morning, dear authorities, organizers, speakers, audience in general, dear friends. Welcome everybody to this room. Yet again, we meet in San Luis, this necessary meeting to celebrate the heritage of our dear friend Camus. We are still trying to find out about and reflecting about our world, our reality, in constant evolution and alert, giving inequality, wars, power, conflicts amongst different countries in our planet. There are the ones that always lose and the ones that always win, the ones suffering and making others suffer, the ones living in freedom and those also desiring it intensely. This 2025 is devoted to play as a starting point to deepen in the critical thought that Albert Camus defended. I am not a young girl anymore, and I remember playing as a little girl when my imagination just flew, and I imagined these wonderful universes where I was a princess and my dear friends were pirates or warriors killing dragons. It all fitted in our innocent vision of the world. We learned to daydream with our friends in squares, streets, along those afternoons that never ended, back then when technology had not destroyed our childhoods. However, we need to be aware that we are in 2025, and that innocent childhood that we so much desire has turned a 360-degree. We feel that nostalgia, that wish to go back to our roots with that feeling of belonging to my community, my people. And this is what Camus desires in The Last Man in his reflection on his childhood in Algeria, searching for this world that is now history. In this world, he understands play as a metaphor of life itself, as in a philosophical manner, trying to understand and inviting us to explore the world with a new eyesight, a new perspective, a clean one, inviting us to be surprised by the unknown with the lights and shadows, the ups and downs. Camus invites us to play, to be at awe with the spark of surprise amidst all difficulties of our day lives entail. And this philosophical, in the Sisyphus, as Leila, the writer, gave us this amazing speech yesterday, Camus reflects as life as play, as a surge in a world that he sees as absurd. The myth tells us the story of a king that needs to keep pushing up this rock uphill to see it roll down again and again in a never-ending cycle. Camus uses this myth to illustrate the idea of the absurd, this constant fight to try to understand what sort of sense it makes to be a human in a non-perfect world. But unfortunately, it's the world where we live and we must learn how to live in it. It's not absurd. Camus doesn't stop battling. He suggests us to embrace that imperfection and live it at the fullest. And this is where the fun, the play comes in. He suggests a Sisyphus he invites us to challenge, to accept the absurd, to enjoy the process, to play without finding an external sense. I mean, instead of seeing life as a never-ending, senseless task, let's see it as a play where we need to participate in total freedom and intensity. This refers to the fact that even though the harshness of our everyday lives, we can always find nice, positive, cheerful, imaginative, and freedom moments through play, through imagination, and our profoundly positive attitude towards life. Camus valued, the possibility of finding magic in the tiniest things amongst the great absurd. Camus, the act of playing, laughing, living it intensely every single day is not only a way of resistance against the absurd, but also to affirm, to accept that life that we must live to the fullest. Thus, play becomes a way to keep hope alive, to find sense in our existence, even though these one may not have a definite sense. Camus defines childhood as a period that is fundamental through learning processes, imagination, always through play, but not only a way to enjoy yourself, but just a way to explore the world, share our emotions, etc. He suggests that the innocence and creativity of childhood are really valuable, and play can be a way to understand this hard reality and our own complex experiences. In short, Camus and the Sisyphus metaphor is the way we could accept life, accepting the absurd, but living with passion, like a play where value lies in the experience itself, not in the final goal. I believe this is a very inspiring and vision full of energy, accepting us to accept the absurd of life, enjoying every single moment, making our own sense through this playful attitude. By reading the introduction that Sandra prepared, she talks about invincible summer, and quickly I thought about the linking this idea to the world of this free childhood, these wonderful summer holidays by, eating in the square, exploring in the beach, playing around. And I found this quote that, according to what I've researched, I don't know whether it's true, it may be Camus. It's a quote that takes me to back to my childhood, but positions me at the present moment. It doesn't have a due date. It's still alive. Amidst hatred, I found there was an invincible love inside. Amongst tears, I found inside of me there was an invincible smile. Amongst chaos, I thought it was a calm that was invincible. So I realized that even though the winter inside of me, there was an invincible summer, and it made me glad. It doesn't matter how hard the world will push against me, inside of me, there is something better pushing back. This last sentence links with the Sisyphus myth. Even though every single hardship in the world, we find inside ourselves this strength, this hope that encourages us to keep going, something that could be interpreted as a way to find meaning or motivation in our difficult everyday lives, even in the hardest of tasks. This is a beautiful way to express resilience and the capacity of keeping hope alive always, even when the world seems to be turning against us, when all the situation seems to be really adverse. Let's laugh. Let's go back to the innocence of our childhood so that we can understand, we can change our world from the innocence regard of children. Let's be at awe with the beauty we can find right in front of us. If it's not like that, we can think it, we can imagine it, and maybe one day it will become a reality. Let's begin the adventure, the reflection, the art, the play in all its forms so that we can live here with the impetus, the momentum, and energy that we need to fight against the absurdity of this time that we're living. Thank you very much. I wish you a very fruitful, beautiful session this year. Thank you.
Pues muy buenos días a todas y a todos. Muchísimas gracias.
Welcome to you all, and thanks for being here this morning, here in this Albert Camus conference room that has become our home for the last 9 years. Thank you very much, Lady Mayor, for your words, for your address, and for all of you that make possible this project every year, especially the sponsors, the tourist department at Menorca, and all our collaborators. First of all, I would like to thank our interpreters that will be working for us and with us throughout the long day, and of course the acoustics, sound and image technicians. Without them, nothing of this would be possible. They will enable this dialogue, and especially thanks to all of you for accepting our invitation to be part of our program. It's a great honor to have you all, and thanks to our dear audience for being so loyal. Without you, without your loyalty to the project over the years, nothing of this would be possible, would be a reality. As you all know, we will unlock our program, our agenda. We started yesterday, last night. This edition has as a main goal, as a main slogan, to try not to abandon our lucid and critical gaze and vision about the world. Of course, we don't intend to become a bubble detached from the world, least as Camus said, as artists, maybe we don't have the need to intervene in the matters of the world. He said artists, writers should support and contribute to this quest for truth, and more importantly, artists do not neglect anything but oblige themselves to understand rather than judge. We need to understand there are so many challenges ahead of us, so many hardships. We cannot turn a blind eye. So we need to understand that sense of helplessness. But how? Which instruments and tools will help us? Once again, Camus and also all the speakers that will participate in this edition will show us possible paths ahead. One of them is that of creating through play, through games. As Camus said, this is a transforming testimony of the only dignity of man, tenacious rebellion against his condition. This is a serious way of playing with reality. For Camus, artists are actors that give meaning to everything, so they juggle between form and truth. Art becomes a playing ground where man, imposes freedom against absurdity. Camus rejects ideologies justifying violence in the name of a better, a more brilliant future. He offers an ethics of the present, playing without creating without dominating, resisting without hating. Play is not kaying, but an order that is freely accepted, with freely accepted rules. To him, play is another name for this joyful rebellion, this art of living with grace in this epoch of the times of interconnectedness, latent nihilism. Entertainment, culture, play and games can become a powerful tool for us to reflect about our liberty, freedom, creation, and existence. Camus invites us to play with ideas without dogmatism, not fleeing but being firm, and commit us with conscience and humanity, playing as a way of accepting the world without possessing it. It's a way of poetic wisdom against the will to control, playing to enrich and to push the limits, expand our realities, because it provides us pleasure and freedom. It's a way to expand our personal space and experience. Therefore, this new edition of the Trobades and awards, we intend to play together to recover that spirit of our childhood, that innocence part, as Leila pointed out yesterday, laughter to install that invincible summer within us and amongst us. That is why we'll start right away.